What does it truly mean to use your influence for good? Is it about really having a big following, or is it something deeper? Something like changing lives and leaving a lasting impact? Today, my friend is going to unpack the real responsibility of influence and how one person is using her story, her struggles, her platform, and yes, even a crown to help other people live healthier and more meaningful lives. Now, let me tell you, if you've ever wondered how to use your platform, your voice, or even your everyday connections to make an impact, stick around because this episode is going to inspire you to think bigger about what influence really means. The School of Influence, where legends are made and legacies are started. Interviews and insights to grow your impact on social media, networking, and stages. Class is now in session.
We're gonna take on the world.
Hey, welcome everybody. I'm Devin Schubert, the man in orange, your host, and I am so excited for today's episode of the School of Influence. Today, I have one of my most amazing friends to be able to be a guest who truly has shown from the inside out what it is like to be an influencer, what it's like to have a purposeful influence in people's lives. And so I can read the whole bio and be able to share, and I will, but I want you guys to know that this is a personal relationship that I have with this person because she has truly had the most impact, most influence in my life over the last few years. And through laughing, through crying, through ups and through downs, we've been through so much. And so it's an honor to be able to have her here with us as my very first guest here on the School of Influence. So she's a board. The first time when I said this, I actually read it as born certified. So I think she was probably born certified as a health coach after you get to know her a little bit. Board certified health coach, best-selling author, business owner, and she even wears a crown. But her most impressive skills and titles overall is that she uses her story and her platform to create real change. She's a proud, conveniently crunchy mom, a passionate advocate for holistic health, and the founder of the Youth Fitness Link, a nonprofit dedicated to combating adolescent obesity and promoting healthy, positive relationships from the inside out. Her mission is nothing short of inspiring, and today, I'm excited to unpack her journey, her struggles, and what it truly means to influence for good, because she has built it from the bottom up and now still figuring it out as the conveniently crunchy mom. Welcome here, Brea Sharron Estep. How are you, my friend?
Hello. Yeah, still figuring it out. That is exactly it. You hit the nail on the head. I am so honored to be here today and have this conversation. I just love that this is one of those really authentic conversations that we actually get to record. Devin and I have had some great conversations over the years, but it's interesting to be on this side of the camera and be on camera. So excited for this.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I've shared here inside the School of Influence is this isn't like a normal school setting. And this is a setting to where I think you and I thrive the best. And it's just sitting back, kicking back, whether it be on the couch or whether it be in your chair. And we're just having a conversation with the one person on the other side of this camera. And so that really has lowered the expectations of people. And it really has brought the authenticity of myself, and I know the other guests that are going to be coming after you. And so I have to be honest, the first time that I met you was through another coaching program that we were a part of, and now we work together with that. And I remember that seeing you on a Facebook banner or a Facebook post inside of the group, and it just said, Miss America 2021, and I'm like, I am in the wrong place. Like, I just sold a trailer to join this. That's all I had left. And this is the group I'm in. And I'll have to tell you that I didn't want to reach out to you. Like, I was very intimidated. I was very intimidated. And we had never had a conversation, I'd never seen you talk or anything like that. But I really felt like I wasn't good enough to be able to have a conversation with you. Like, you were on this, like, pedestal for me. And I look back and I'm like, "What an idiot." Like, why did I think that? But I believe that there's a perception that sometimes people have when people have titles, when people have a platform, when they have hundreds of thousands of followers, or they win a big award, and it maybe brings a little bit of insecurity with them. And so I'd love to just start off with kind of your journey, because even though you have a title and you have a crown and it's amazing, I'm sure it wasn't all that amazing of a journey to be able to get there. So what did that journey look like?
Well, let me just take it down one more notch. I'm currently in slippers and gym clothes. So let's just tell everyone how real and how personal and raw and authentic we are here today. So let me put it in perspective. I'm in slippers right now. Um yeah, it was quite a journey. So I guess my story started off years ago. My what we have in pageantry is called a personal platform promise. So what I'm going to do when I'm crowned, and we have to recite it on stage and all the things. And my story starts off with imagine losing a dad to cancer, child to infertility, and a brother to unknown causes. I know all too well. All the top diseases in the United States are lifestyle based, and we can reverse that. So, that was my story, and that's kind of what people were like, "Wait, what? What are you saying? All of the top diseases in the United States, including cancer, are lifestyle based? Wait, what?" But that's where my story started. My dad died of a brain tumor in 2011, and I was working a great job, making great money, for being fresh. Well, I was still technically in college, but still being a youngling. I was making more money than I had ever seen, and I was miserable. I was working my tail off, and I quit everything that I was doing to help my mom take care of my dad and his unfortunate loss of his battle to cancer. But would decided to be a personal trainer, and I wanted to spend my life helping people. And I remember and lost a brother years before that, and dealt with infertility issues. So again, back to all of that loss, and I never want people to deal with the loss that I experienced. So that's how I got started is personal training, and then I got into fitness competitions, and then that led me into pageantry because I really did want to share my message. Like, it's not just like, yeah, okay, it's great to win some awards, like woohoo, but what can we do with that? Like, how can we truly make a change? And that's why I got into pageantry and my nonprofit organization, Youth Fitness Link, and how that started was I was teaching middle school youth, and I had one of my students come in, and she was eating a can jar. Is it a can? I think it's a can. I think it's a can of Pringles. And a Coke, and I was like, "Oh, this is dinner." And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, like this is bad. This is real bad." Again, I'm a personal trainer. Like, this is bad. And I reflected back on my own story, growing up without money, and I knew what it felt like to wear hand-me-down clothes and be made fun of, and being picked last for gym class, and feeling like you needed to be on a diet in order to be pretty or have friends. And I was like, you know what, we need to do something here. And I just saw how all of those students, I heard their stories, and I heard myself in those stories. But I also just saw how they weren't able to connect. It was just glued to screens. And I was like, okay, we've got to do something. How can we make fitness fun and attainable to prevent all of the stuff that I see every single day as an integrative health practitioner? How do we reverse engineer it so we don't have these problems anyways? So that's how Youth Fitness Link came about, which is my platform for pageantry. And yeah, so it's my job, it's my career, it's my passion, it's my life's work. And I don't even know if I answered that question.
No, it was good. There's a lot of things I didn't even know. I didn't know about your dad passing, and um, yeah, it's a lot to carry. And so what would you say was like the main motivation of the things that you had gone through to want to have a platform that you could share your message on?
Yeah, and my message is kind of two part. One is Youth Fitness Link, my nonprofit organization that's aimed at building healthy, positive relationships on the inside and out in order to combat adolescent obesity and teach healthy lifestyle choices. So that is aimed to prevent all the stuff that I see every single day as an integrative health practitioner. And how I got into integrative health, also a unique story. It was right after I lost my dad, I think. But I had just finished my afternoon shift at work, and I had just gotten home and was sitting in my car, and it took me a lot of effort to get out of the car. It was just a really hot day in North Carolina. It was hot, and I was tired. And I remember I got out of the car, and I was looking up at my second story apartment, and I was like, I don't think I can make it up these steps. I'm physically exhausted, but also mentally and emotionally exhausted. So what you didn't know is, yeah, I was a personal trainer. I actually owned a gym as well. I was doing all of the right things, but I had gained 30 pounds in less than 3 months. Again, doing all of the right things, everything that I was telling clients to do. I was working out 6 days a week. I was doing cardio and weights 6 days a week. I was eating low carb. I was eating no sugar. Again, doing all of the things, but I felt like an imposter because everything that I was telling people to do, I was doing, and the scale kept going up and up and up, and I hated myself for it. I was like an emotional wrecking ball on anyone and everyone. My poor clients, they did a lot of burpees, but also those personal relationships in my life, because how could I help others if I couldn't even help myself? So that's when I found integrative health. That's when I took a shot in the dark in functional medicine labs, and found out that our bodies aren't broken. They are designed to heal. They're trying to tell us something. We just have to know how to listen. So that's how I got into integrative health that led to Youth Fitness Link. So that's how all of those pieces connect.
Yeah, so it sounds like you were trying to do all the right things, the things that you knew. You were teaching other people, you were running the gym, you were doing all those things, you were helping other people with their health, but on the inside, there was just some things that were not working out for you either. And so was that kind of the launching pad of like, okay, I need to make a difference in my life, and in order to do that, I also want to step it up and be able to take this to the next level.
Yeah, it was, but it was also, I knew what it felt like to hate the person that I saw in the mirror, and again, doing all of the right things. And I knew that I had, of course, we have some clients that are like, oh yeah, I go to the gym, and then, would swing by McDonald's on the way home and then kill a pint of ice cream for dinner. Like, okay, and be like, oh, I'm gaining weight. Well, okay. But I had a few that were dealing with the same issues. They're like, no, like I really don't eat that bad. It's not like I'm really drinking. I'm not eating sugar. Like, I don't know what's going on. What's wrong with my health? I feel miserable, but my doctor says I'm fine. My blood work is fine. So it wasn't until I found functional medicine labs that I discovered my specific toxicities and my specific deficiencies through functional medicine labs, because blood's a homeostatic fluid. So our blood pulls from wherever it needs to in order to stay balanced at homeostasis. So a lot doesn't show up on our blood work. It's a very important piece of the puzzle, but it just doesn't show everything. So my doctors were right. My blood work was fine, but I didn't feel fine. And again, I knew so many other women just like that. And I knew that if I could heal myself or put my body in the position to heal itself, I mean, I can't do any healing. That's how God designed us. But once my body was able to eliminate those toxicities and replace those deficiencies to get back to a state of equilibrium where it could heal itself, I knew that I had to share that message, because I knew I wasn't the only woman who hated the person that she saw in the mirror, and was frustrated, because it's not like I was sitting on the couch eating Chips Ahoy and Oreo cookies and not doing anything. I was doing all of the right things.
Yeah, and I'm sure so many people listening to this have probably been through similar things or know somebody who's struggled with their own self identity, who they are, what they were created to do, why they're not healthy, why they're not healing, why they're not losing the weight, why they lose a friend or somebody to cancer, any of those types of things. And what did that message look like as you were going to compete, as you were, speaking and sharing things on stages, as you were growing your influence? How did that message keep you going when I'm sure it got rough?
Yeah, I'm a serial entrepreneur, goal getter. Like, I need some type of goal in order to keep me going. So those goals are personally motivating for me. So I love the thrill. I love the adrenaline. Um, but I knew that I had to do it just for one person. And when I first competed for Mrs. United States and in my first pageants, I lost a lot more pageants than I won. So when I would go in there, oh, you've got to perform, oh, you've got to do this, you've got to look right, you've got to say the right things, you got to have the right hair and makeup and dress and all of those things. And I spent thousands of dollars on hair and makeup and wardrobe and all of that. And I felt like an imposter again. It just wasn't right. But it was when I lost Mrs. United States in 2020, and honestly, I didn't even place. Like, you know, if I wasn't even there, no one would have ever known. We'll put it that way. But God truly did.
So would you say that those people tried to conform you to what you were supposed to look like? Is that kind of what you're saying?
I wouldn't say anyone specifically did, but the industry did. I was trying to
Yeah.
be like everybody else. I was trying to have the right hair, to have the right makeup, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not tall enough, but maybe if I get the right dress, or maybe if I, do some extra reps in the gym, whatever it may be." I knew that I'm not traditionally tall. I'm 5 feet 3/4 of an inch. Let's be completely honest. That's why you'll probably always see me in stilettos. But I knew I wasn't the typical pageant girl that was tall. But I knew that if I worked out extra hard, then my swimsuit and fitness score would bring up my evening gown score, and that would balance things out. I wasn't that great in interview. So, this is where my mind was. But when I went in to pageantry and to Mrs. United States in 2021, and I made it my mission to try and be Miss Congeniality. I didn't win Miss Congeniality, but that's okay. I like who will know. But I made it my mission to try and find somebody to help just one person. And when I went on stage, it was a true God moment, because I was like, you know what? If somebody else is dealing with the struggle that I went through, and I can give them hope that their body too can heal, then it's all worth it. Like the crown, all of that aside, just do it for one person. One person in the audience needs to hear your story. The whole world doesn't need to hear your story. Do it for one person. I mean, I always say, I'm the one out of the 99 sheep that Jesus is like, the sheep, the one that keeps getting lost. I think that's me. So, if Jesus was one after the one of the 99, me being that one, that he's probably still shaking his head. He's like, this little black sheep keeps running off. Oh my goodness, you would think she would stay. If he could do that for me, then just doing it for one makes it all worth it.
That's so good. That's so good. And it just aligns so much with the things that God has told me about, my journey with my son Jacoby, and leaving the 99 for the one. And for me, it was, same types of thing, giving up everything, to be able to save one person. And that meant for you is like, I'm going to put in all the hard work. I'm going to do everything I need to do to make sure that my voice, my story, my message gets heard to that one person, and it's all worth it. And for me, it was giving everything up so that the one person could have life and be able to have life abundantly. And so as you began growing, and as you began getting your message out there, and impacting those one persons at a time, how did you balance the authenticity of who you are compared to the influence that you were creating, and the image that people were, maybe putting on you, because you don't have to own the perception that people, like I did, like, I can't talk to her. I don't deserve that. I don't have a right to. How did you keep that authenticity? Because I know personally that you're very, very authentic. Anybody who watches you on social media knows you're authentic. But how did you keep that balance?
Well, I always wore slippers. I would, make sure to stay grounded, always wear slippers when on any type of stage possible, and always make fun of yourself and your shortness first before anybody else can say, wow, you're a lot shorter in person. No, again, just doing it for the one. But I would say it's a good question. Yeah, I think just sharing my struggles along every step of the way, and not acting like I had it all together, and laughing my way through it. But again, not that sob story or anything like that, but just making sure that I stayed vulnerable and transparent and authentic. And I made it a point, especially my year as Mrs. United States. And I still do, but I don't have a sparkly hat that I get to wear all the time. It gets to sit back there, but I don't get to wear it all the time. But making sure that I made it my position that I was there to serve, not to be served, and keeping that servant's heart whenever, wherever possible. And it's one thing to, and in pageantry, I love pageantry, but there's a lot of not authenticity in there, inauthenticity. I think that's a word. Um,
We keyed it. It's in there now.
it is now. I'll look it up on Wikipedia. Tag me. But I think that showing up and just having authentic conversations. I remember somebody was like, "You are so not pageantry," because I just pulled up a chair one day, full 6-inch stilettos, crown, took off the crown. I was like, so tall, like, what's going on with life? How's school? People are like, whoa, like, hold on, what's going on? Whenever I could, I would make sure to take off the crown and put it on as many other heads as I possibly could, especially kids. But you remember, being at the airport or whatever it may be. So many people, it's just amazing to see what they look like when they're noticed.
Mm.
And if you have a big sparkly hat, then you get noticed pretty easy. But just seeing people transform of, wow, look at you. Oh my gosh, look at me. And just feeling special in their own skin. I think that's what kept me grounded as much as possible. Just again, remembering that one and serving instead of being served.
Yeah, I love that visual that you shared about, putting the crown on other people and what that could mean. What that could mean to that one person who maybe has never felt or maybe has never had anybody tell them that they're beautiful or their parents never, you know, loved them correctly or nurtured them right, and to be able to have somebody else take their, prize, their possession, this is, I worked so hard, and to very easily be able to hand it to somebody else and say, "Hey, this looks good on you. I believe in you. I see you," and how important that is. And that's one thing that I love about you, Bria, is that it's not about the crown. It's about the way that you get to help and love other people from the platform that you have. The crown isn't your identity. Who you are is your identity, and you get to speak from that and your message from that to be able to help other people. I think it's so important that we understand that influence comes from the heart. And as you continued to go from 2021 to 2022 to 2023 and things kind of kept on moving forward, how did you kind of utilize your platform as, another Miss America came and you handed a crown and you placed the crown on her head and you continued to move forward? How did you continue to utilize your influence and helping others in a different kind of light?
Yeah, I when I took off my crown officially for the last time, it was hard. It was actually kind of hard, believe it or not, because it had been such a wonderful year just being able, again, the best memories are literally taking the crown off and putting it on someone else's head. But in that season, I found out that I had a kiddo on the way and got a puppy and all the things. So staying busy, but again, using what I had, the platform and the following, or whatever I had, to continue those authentic conversations of, hey, I'm struggling. Not as a, hey, feel sorry for me, but as a, hey, this is not just a highlight reel. My dog just knocked over the Christmas tree. My kid's screaming and he won't sleep. LOL, you know what I mean? Like, hey, this is complete chaos. There's lizards and frogs in my house. And I think people just along the ride, or just kind of along for the ride, we love the Kardashians, or love to hate them, but it's like, sometimes it's like a train wreck. You can't help but watch, but you're genuinely interested in what they're authentically, maybe it's not so authentically because it's probably scripted, some of it that doesn't look like it's scripted, but people really want to know that authentic, that authenticity when there's so much fake in the world, and want to know that the world isn't just a highlight reel. And other people are struggling too. I know, especially in this new mom space. I never, I've purposely tried to avoid being a mom influencer and anything like that, just because I don't feel like the profession. I literally, the only mom advice I have is trust your gut. You know your kid better than anybody else. It's the only mom advice you'll hear from me. But knowing, I know that whenever I hear other parents or other moms are like, yeah, I'm struggling. Like, most days I want to cry. I'm like, really? Like, I thought it was just me. Like, wait, hold on here. I know how much I appreciate the authenticity, so I've always tried to provide that too. Like, hey, life ain't always sunshine and rainbows. Some days you gotta chase chickens like Rocky.
Yeah, that's that's funny. And you don't hold back on all social media platforms. If you're not following Bria by now, you should have already switched over and followed her on all the social media platforms, because she is. I mean, I love, watching you be the mom. I love watching him dance around and all the fun things that he gets to do, showing off, and as well as the realness of oh, throwing a fit. Yep. Okay. Yep. Oh yeah, the dog's eating your Cheerios. All right. Okay.
The only thing we haven't figured out is we have nothing figured out. The only thing that's predictable is an unpredictability.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I believe that, you're a true embodiment of what it looks like to influence people. And no matter what comes your way, you're still influencing people, whether or not you know exactly what you're doing as a mom or just trying to reach out and have those authentic conversations with moms. And being able to, like you said at the very beginning, it's a lifestyle. There's a lifestyle that we get to live, and that is the part of our influence. And a lot of people listening to this, a lot of them are probably just like me. Of like, oh, look at that person up on the platform. Look at them up on stage. Look at them on TV. Look at them on social media. And the big thing that I am gearing to do is to be able to break that, that mold of thinking that that person on the platform has got a perfect life, that the journey that they had to get there was simple, that they just woke up and all of a sudden they had a crown on their head, they had a million views, all those things. It's not that, way. And so thank you for sharing about the lifestyle that we need to live in order to have an influence, and the opportunities that we get to share our message, how important it is to find one person that you can impact. That's legacy. And I know that you passing on that crown to the next woman was legacy. Like, I'm going to pass this on. This is the legacy of Miss United States, and passing it on from one to the next, because your message is now being passed on, and it's this big snowball effect of influence and what that gets to look like. It's so cool. And now just watching you be able to be a mom and figure all those things out and have fun and sometimes not have fun. It's good, but I would really encourage people to be able to check you out on all your social media platforms. How else can they get connected with you or be able to get plugged in and ask some more questions? Because I know that once Brea turns on that Coach Holistic, start talking about health stuff, she is it geeking out. She geeks out.
Need my nerd glasses just for that. Have fingerprints on them. I do want to double tap on something really quick though.
Yeah.
That you said that I think that I didn't realize. Again, what keeps me humble is, yes, do it for one. But I remember Mrs. United States 2020, 2020 when I went, in 2019 when I went. I was like, oh my gosh, wow. Like, I was scared to talk to her. Like, oh my goodness, like idolized, like literally idolized. And she told me something later that was like, the world didn't change when I won. Like nothing really changed. Like, yeah, okay, I have a crown, but nothing changed. And I was like, oh, there's no way. Like, it's gonna change my life. Like, I want this so bad. And then 2020, when I didn't even place in Mrs. United States, I knew the girl before she won, Caitlin, my predecessor. I guess, yeah, predecessor. Before she won, and then she won, and then I was like nervous to talk to her, and I was like, oh, this, like, oh my goodness, like she's like all up here, and I'm like way down here. And yes, okay, she's like 6'20", like Amazon beautiful, and I'm 5 feet tall. I think it come up to like maybe her belly button, but I remember, and then I won my crown, and I was like, gosh, I know nobody feels that way about me. And then somebody was like, yeah, like I was nervous. I was like, who? What, me? You were nervous to talk to me? I think we don't see ourselves the way that other people see us. And I know that when I pray for people, one of my favorite prayers, and I do authentically mean it, like, dear God, let this person see themselves the way that, yes, you see them, but the way that other people see them. And I think that Devin, I think you do the same thing. I don't think you see yourself the way that the rest of us see you. The man in orange, the myth, the legend. But I just hope for anybody listening that they know that you two are truly that authentic and influential. But also, I don't think that we see ourselves in the same light that others see us, and for the positive or negative. But again, the position that I'm in, I was like, oh my gosh, like, wow, I can't even talk to this person. Then I got that position and I didn't feel like I thought I would. It's crazy how that works, right? Anyways, how to find me, Brea Sharron Fitness on social media. But I have a free holistic health, wellness, and weight loss group for you guys. That's where all of my free resources are housed. Yes, I do functional medicine labs, but again, I have that nonprofit organization, and my job is to provide as much information as I can for free. I'm here to help you get your health and body back holistically. So if that's something you want to look into for you and the whole family, feel free to reach out. Holistic Health, Wellness, and Weight Loss group on Facebook. I'm there to answer questions, and they're all the time.
Awesome. And we'll have that in the description below. And thank you so much for joining. This is good. We both got to learn some things about each other, I'm sure, that we didn't know over the last couple of years when we talk multiple times a week and coach together and do all kinds of things. And I love that last thing, and I think it's an important challenge for people, is that as you're leaving this, what is something that you have been negating about yourself? What's something negative that maybe you've been saying about yourself, or you're not viewing yourself the way that other people view you? What is a way that you can encourage people, Brea, to be able to to raise their self-esteem, to find that true identity? Is there ways that you help people, or doing the I am statements, all those types of cliche things? What's something that you feel like has worked for you or people that you've seen?
Yeah, I love affirmations. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. All of the things. And I like to go to sleep. I'm young because I never want to age. Young and beautiful and happy and healthy and successful and wise and blah blah blah. Like, yeah, okay. But I don't think it's who you are. I think it's whose you are.
Wow.
And I know that yeah, okay, my identity will crown, yeah, whatever. Um, but my identity, yes, is a princess and a daughter of God, and that's where my identity comes from. Is from Him. It's not from me. I couldn't win that crown myself. Like I couldn't. Like yeah, all the hard work and the push-ups and the speaking and all. Yeah, okay, whatever. I couldn't have done it on my own. It's truly whose I am, and I'm called for such a time as this. And I think if we remember whose we are and do it for one, um, and just stay grounded in that, it truly it changes everything.
Yeah, that's so good. So good. Well, thank you again for joining us here and for sharing with everybody your story and being a little vulnerable and being authentic. And we made it through the nap time, so that was a success. But if this was helpful for you as a listener, for you as a viewer, and you want to be able to take things to the next level, or somebody that you feel like this would help them to feel more confident about who they are, or changing their lifestyle to be a lifestyle of influence, please subscribe, share it with them, and leave a comment so we can be able to engage back with you. But for now, school is out. Bye.